Leadership and Management, a Systemic Perspective. While there are enormous number of books and articles that I have read regarding leadership and management and their difference, the one thing that I have never managed to run across is a systemic perspective about the difference between the two of them. And I'd now like to offer one based upon the nature of the structures that they foster rather than the particular activities that they promote. If I start with a simple balancing structure where there's a current state and a desired state, and that gap is the impetus for action to move the current state in the direction of the desired state. It's a simple goal-seeking or balancing loop. And I think that is emblematic of the typical undertaking within an organization where there are things that you need to accomplish, and it's a goal-seeking structure that is used to pursue them. Now, typically, though, the gap, the difference between the two, is perceived as not being sufficient to promote the necessary activity to move the current state in this direction to the extent that they would like it to. So I think that it is management, the planning, organizing, directing, and controlling activities that, based upon the gap, attempt to influence the activity to move the current state in the direction of the desired state in a meaningful manner. So I think that this is a systemic representation of management in an organizational environment where it's meant to enhance the goal-seeking opportunity or activity. Alternatively, leadership, I think, is an activity that attempts to promote reinforcing or growth structures where activity produces a result that promotes more of the same activity, so that leadership is not actually part of the structure. It's leadership that sort of promotes the type of structure that produces this kind of result. Now, I expect that the structure is never quite this simple, though it's the essence of the set of relationships, in that the leadership develops a context that promotes a reinforcing structure. I expect that the results have to have a sense of meaningfulness to them to actually promote more activity, and then the activity produces results. So there are probably other pieces in here, but these are the ones that I think are the essential basis of it. Though what often happens is someone decides that if this is a good thing, more of a good thing would be even better. So they have the sense that if I employ rewards, it will promote more of the activity and even more results, and the results are then responsible for rewards that promote more activity, and I can induce this reinforcing structure to operate even faster than it would have if I just left it alone. The difficulty often occurs in that if the rewards are something that are meaningful to those receiving them, typically some other activity will evolve intended to promote even more rewards. So from the position of those receiving the rewards, this is a very virtuous reinforcing structure, in that, we could take this activity to produce results, but it's even easier to perform this activity to promote even more rewards. It's amazing how ingenious people can be when they want to be. The difficulty with this scenario is that more often than not, that activity 2 actually diminishes activity 1, reducing the results that occur. So what you end up with is a stagnating balancing loop that actually gets in the way of the results that would have been produced if the rewards weren't added to the puzzle to begin with. Alfie Kohn in Punished by Rewards does some marvelous work in terms of the way that rewards have why they simply continue to corrupt the system that might have been much better, operated much better on its own. So from that perspective, this reinforcing structure that was a virtuous reinforcing structure from the perspective of those receiving the rewards is the vicious reinforcing structure from the perspective of the overall results that get produced, because those rewards promote an activity that diminishes the activity that produces the results. So this is a set of thoughts about the leadership and management from a systemic perspective as opposed to a structural perspective, and the activity that differentiate leadership and management on an ongoing basis. Hope you found this of some interest, and I'll see you in another video soon. Bye.